We're going to solve a special kind of equation called quadratic equations. And quadratic equations are ones where there is an x squared term. Okay, so here's an example where we have something, this x squared is equal to 36, and we're trying to figure out what numbers would make that true. Since if we square 6, that answer is 36, well, that means x is 6. Okay, great. But are we done? Notice that if I take negative 6 and square it, negative times negative would be a positive 36. So there's actually two answers, and that's going to be the case for every quadratic. There's going to be two different answers. So we have both a positive and a negative. Okay, so the way that we find those without just having to guess is we would just take our equation x squared equals 36, and you're going to do two things. You're going to take the square root of your number. What you're basically doing is taking the square root of both sides. You can do anything to equation as long as you do the same thing to both sides. So you would get square root of x squared, that's just x, but you also have to take the negative square root of 36 to get that negative 6. Okay, so there's your process. So on this next one, I've got the square root of 12. That's the first one, and then the negative square root of 12. And then we'll just plug that into our calculator and get approximately what that is. Let's see, square root of 12. I'm going to just round that to the nearest hundredth. So 3.46 and negative 3.46. And I could kind of guess about how close that is. If I had the square root, if I was trying to kind of figure out the value of square root of 12, well, square root of 9, that's worth 3. Square root of 16, that is 4. So the square root of 12 is somewhere in there. And, you know, it's kind of really pretty much in the middle between 9 and 16. So you can kind of estimate about where you think that is. But we can just plug that into your calculator as well. All right, moving on. So here, if I try, just be careful because this has this negative right here, which is going to mean that there's no solution. Because if you try and take a number like 12 and square it, you'd get 144, which is positive. So that doesn't work. But if I try to take negative 12 and square it, well, that's also positive because a negative times a negative is positive. So there's no way to take a number times itself and get a negative answer. There's no real number. We'll get into imaginary numbers in future classes, but for now we just say no solution. All right, so what you need to do on this next one is let's just isolate this x squared term. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. And what do I get here? 96. And then let's divide by 3. So I have x squared is equal to 32. And then I can take my x equal to square root of 32, and x is equal to the negative square root of 32, and then we'll just approximate that. I can look at that and I think square root of 36, that's 6. Square root of, let's see, what's the smaller one? 25. That's 5, right? So if I was kind of trying to put this on a number line, I think it's somewhere between 5 and 6, probably a little bit closer to 6. So let's see how close I am. I think, I'm going to guess, I think it's about, I don't know, 5.4, 5.8. All right, that's going to be my guess. I'm going to write it down so you see how close I was. Okay, so now let's just pull out our calculator and just take square root of 32. Oh, I was a little off. This is 5.656. I'm going to round it to the nearest hundredth and negative 5.66. Okay, so All right, but it is some number, you know, somewhere between 5 and 6. I always like to kind of challenge myself and see if I can guess it, how close I can get. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to try it yourself and see how you do. Okay, so pause the video and let's see how you do. All right, how's it going? That first one we can solve. The next one, you can't. Just be careful. If there's that negative, then that one has no solution. And then a little hint here on this next one as you're trying to put this into your calculator. It might be kind of nice actually just to write that as 3/10 as a decimal. And then we can take p is equal to positive 3/10 and p is equal to a negative square root of 3/10. It's just a tiny bit easier to calculate. Put that in your calculator. So what do we get? 0.55 and negative 0.55. All right, and then on this one, just isolate your z squared term, and then you can take the positive square root and the negative square root. So I'll give you a minute. You can pause. All right, there we go. So there is the square root property. And that's a great way to solve quadratic equations, is just taking the square root of both sides, and you'll know it's a quadratic if you've got a variable that has a squared term. Now this only works if you have just two, if you can simplify it down to a squared term and a number. And it doesn't work if you've got more than just that. If you have more than two terms, it's not going to work. So we need to use a different process for more complicated equations. And we'll do that in the next video using the quadratic formula.